love this. Bing, look at it. What's going on, Slay Babes? It's Ashley and welcome back. For today's video, I'm going to be sitting down and doing a full face of Allure's Best of Beauty products for 2019. I did film this video last year, so if you haven't watched that video, I'm going to put it right up here in the cards, just so that way you can watch that video right after you watch this one. There's a bunch of awesome products in today's video, some products that I already owned in my collection, and other products I had to go out and pick up, either because I got rid of them or I just never ever tried them. So it's going to be a pretty interesting video. I also have some skincare products in here. I have some tools and all of that goodness. So subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also click that little bell so that way YouTube will notify you when I upload, which is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Do it!
Click that bell.
Just
do it.
Do it! Nothing is impossible.
Thank you.
And you're not gonna stop there.
Thank you so much.
No, what are you waiting
With that, you guys, I'm gonna zoom you in just a little bit closer so that way we can get started on the look. All right, big head in the frame. Holla. Phone's going off, let's turn that off. But I'm gonna start off with eye primer. Now, there wasn't an actual eye primer that won an award, so instead I'm just gonna use concealer. I'm gonna use this by CoverGirl. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer, and the shade I'm using is Golden Ivory L300. This did win an award for best concealer, which was so awesome to see because this is such an amazing concealer. About a month or so back, I did do a back to school makeup look using only concealer, and this was the concealer I used because it is so awesome. And now that I'm looking at all this concealer on my eyelid, that was probably way too much. Honestly, less is more with this product, so don't go ham like I did. Another thing, you guys, I haven't primed my eyelids with concealer in a little minute. Actually, maybe I did in my full face using nothing new. I threw it back to my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer because it is that good. Which reminds me, I think that concealer won an award last year for best high-end concealer, which is awesome because it is such an awesome concealer. Let's actually move on to the eyeshadow palette that won an award this year. That is the Maybelline Lemonade Craze eyeshadow palette. Now, this has been out for a little minute now. I did a full video on it, so I will also have this in the cards if you guys are interested in checking it out. I did 3 looks using just this one palette. It is a really universal palette. I feel like you can create so many different looks with it. For me personally, I do want to create something a little bit more soft today, something just a little bit more neutral and not too like poppy and out there. So the first shade I'm going to pick up is this peach shade right here. This one is called Coral Punch, and I'm just going to run this in my crease. Keep in mind, I did not set that concealer down with any powder or anything like that because I do find that these eyeshadows work best over top of a sticky base, as opposed to when you lay down like a thin layer of shadow, they're not as pigmented, and that's me just speaking from experience. I'm actually surprised no other drugstore eyeshadow palettes didn't win an award because I know of so many really amazing, affordably priced palettes that were really good to me this past year. I'm now gonna go in with this shade right here called Sweet Tea. It is more of like a light, soft brown. Not entirely sure if that's gonna show up much over top of Coral Punch, but I'm gonna take a little bit of it and put this in the crease, just to kind of neutralize that coral because I don't really want like a bright coral look. I just want it to be nice and soft and kind of just peek underneath this brown. You guys see how pretty that is? Just kind of like blending into each other. Nothing too crazy, just something very soft and nice. The next shade I'm gonna pick up is this shade right here. It's called Old Fashioned. This one is a little bit deeper, but also not too deep. Honestly, I feel like this is such a beginner-friendly palette because it's pigmented, but it's not too pigmented to the point where if you put on too much, you won't be able to blend it out. So I'm just gonna take this shade and just put it all over the lid and in the crease. You can even go as far as like taking a flat brush and then just like really intensifying it all over the lid, just so that way it's a little bit more opaque. So I've gotten to the point where my eyes are smoked out with brown all over the lid, and I honestly really love it. I feel like it's a look that's very simple and effortless, if you ask me. I am going to add just a little bit of Coral Punch on an M514 by Morphe, and I'm just going to lightly dust this directly over top of that brown, just so that way a little bit more of it peeks through. This was such an easy and effortless eyeshadow look to do. Like, it took 0 to no effort, which I love. Now you can leave the look just like this, or you can add in a shimmer of some sort. There are so many different shimmers in this palette. I kind of want to take the shade called Sugar Coat It. It's more of a copper, but I also really love the shade called Citrus. I may do a little bit of Sugar Coat It and then take Citrus directly on the center. I'm gonna take some of Sugar Coat It on my finger, and I'm just lightly going to press it onto my lid, just to add some sheen, but nothing too crazy. Like, I definitely don't want to do like a cut crease or anything. I want this to look very like soft, subtle, and effortless. Like, wow, your eyes are so pretty. Like, it took me all of like 5 minutes, you know? If you want to be a little bit more precise with it, you could always just go in with a brush and just kind of tap, just to get a little bit more pigment on there. Now this is what I call a copper eye. I am gonna add just a little bit of that shade called Citrus, like I said, to this one right here. And I'm just gonna kind of tap it in the center, just to add like a little dimension. Ooh, that is pretty. Just a little tap, tap. Yeah. So like when I turn my eye, it gives it a little something extra without being too much, whereas this eye is just like, I don't know, I just feel like it gives it a completely different effect. What do you guys think? I'm just gonna spray my eyes with a little bit of Fix Plus, just so that way those shimmers can really just like melt into the skin, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, it just gives it more of a skin-like feel and a skin-like finish. I'm gonna take a makeup wipe and clean up the fallout, because I did get quite a bit of fallout. Again, if you guys are interested in checking out that Maybelline palette, I will have it listed down below, as well as my other video where I did 3 looks, 1 palette, so that way you guys can get more inspo on what you can do with this particular palette. Let's take a little mini break from the eyes and start working on the skin a little bit. I do have some skincare products that won awards for 2019, so I am going to use those in today's video. The first one is this one by Olay. This is the Olay Mist. It says Ultimate Hydration Essence. It's cooling, it has cucumber water and white mint. So what it does is that it absorbs quickly and refreshes makeup, leaves skin feeling refreshed and cool. You could apply before moisturizer, following makeup application, or anytime you need to de-stress. So I'm gonna put this on before makeup application, and I'll probably even put it on at the end too, because why not? Ooh, I like the way that that smells, and it feels really, really cooling on the skin. I'm gonna kind of dry it down just for the sake of timing with my little mini fan that I got on Amazon. I will have this down below. I actually got this for when I do my eyelash application. Sometimes it takes my eyelashes a little bit too long to dry down, so this is gonna kind of speed up my process. Another skincare product that won an award by CeraVe is the Foaming Facial Cleanser. You guys, this one is my all-time favorite. I love this so much. I'm almost out of it. I may need to restock soon, but I use this every single morning to cleanse my skin. So anyways, back to the hydrating hyaluronic acid serum. I'm gonna take just a little bit of this and put this on all over. So this is kind of what the formula looks like. Not too bad. And I'm just gonna work this into my skin. By the way, my skin, let's talk about it. She is doing amazing, honey. Which reminds me, I do a lot of like skincare stuff on Instagram. So if you guys want to know what I'm using, what I actually use to clear my acne, I will have my Instagram down below. Also right here, username, follow me over there. Just because I do a lot of fun Instagram TV videos. So if you guys want a glimpse into my skincare routine, what I use to take off my makeup, what I use in the morning, night, whatever the case may be, then it's all over there. But I will say this serum feels really, really nice on the skin. It also doesn't feel sticky. You guys know those serums that feel very, very sticky on the skin just aren't comfortable. Well, that's not it. It feels very, very hydrating. The primer that won an award this year is the Olay Sun Facial Sunscreen and Makeup Primer. So it's a sunscreen and primer all in one. It has SPF 35, and I'm looking on the back. This is definitely more of a chemical sunscreen than a physical sunscreen. To be completely honest, I'm not the biggest fan of chemical sunscreens. I really, really love a physical sunscreen, but that's just me. I feel like everybody's into different things. This is what the packaging looks like, super cute. Now that I look at it, I do remember seeing a ton of different sponsorships surrounding this product right here. So I'm really, really glad that I finally get a chance to try it out. I'm gonna squeeze just a little bit out, so about that much, and I'm gonna put this all over. This is gonna protect my skin against the sun, and it's also going to prime as well. I honestly can't stress how important it is to actually wear a sunscreen, whether it's physical or chemical. Like, it's a step I never ever skip. If I'm wearing makeup, if I'm not wearing makeup, best believe I'm always wearing sunscreen.
because we don't want wrinkles, okay?
I will say it smells like sunscreen though, so if you're not into that sunscreen smell, you may not even like that. But let's actually move on to foundation. Well, big news, there wasn't an award-winning foundation this year, which blows my mind because there are so many incredible foundations. I recently tried the one from Neutrogena, the healthy skin one. Y'all, that foundation is something serious. It is so good, and if I had to pick a foundation to win an award, it would be that one. But you know, that's not up to me, that's up to the people. Anyways, let's actually talk about a product that I am going to use in place of foundation, and it is a concealer. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. I do have it in 3 different shades, one really light one medium, and a little bit darker. Now, I did like a 10-minute makeup routine for back to school using this concealer, and my skin looked incredible, and it wore very, very nicely throughout the day. So that's exactly what I'm going to do today. The shade I'm going to use is M100 Golden Natural, and this is going to be my base shade. So I'm going to take some of this and I'm just going to put it right here underneath my eyes because I really need to combat these dark circles here. Yes, boo, that's a look. That's a whole look. And then with a brush, I'm just going to lightly buff and diffuse out the concealer. And this is going to cover up like my under eye circles, any blemishes I have. I like to work in smaller sections as opposed to putting the concealer all over because I find that it's so easy to blend out that way. And the brush I'm using is by Real Techniques. I saw that Real Techniques had so many amazing brushes in their little section, and I was like, wow, I should really try out more of their products because I kind of put them on a back burner for a while, but they do look like they have some really, really good face brushes for an affordable price. Whatever's left on my brush, I'm just gonna kind of hit the areas that need a little bit more attention, like my cheek and stuff. But that alone made all the difference. So now that I have my under eye concealer all blended out, I am going to take a little bit more of that shade and I'm going to put some on my chin because I do have a little bit of redness there, and I'm also going to take some onto my forehead and down the bridge of my nose, just so that way my entire face can be the same color, because right now my under eye is one color and then my forehead and my chin is another color, and honey, that is not a good look. I am going to switch brushes to more of a bigger brush. This is a Pro Foundation number 47. One of the biggest tips I can give you when applying concealer as foundation is to make sure your skin is very well hydrated and moisturized, because one thing I've noticed with the CoverGirl concealer is that it is pretty thick in formula, so it can be a little bit hard to blend out, especially if your skin is very, very dry and not well moisturized. So that is a big tip, especially when using this product. I am going to go in with a lighter shade. I'm going to take L300 and I'm going to use this to brighten underneath the eyes because my skin's looking very like flat right now, so I need a little bit of dimension. And to blend it out, I'm just gonna use that same brush. This is honestly something I do when I don't want to dirty a bunch of brushes and I'm lazy, so there you go. Now on the Allure website, I didn't see that any affordable loose powders won an award. I did see that the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder won an award. I want to say this won an award last year, but I could be wrong, but it is a really, really good powder. So I am going to take a little bit of this and use this to set underneath my eyes. Just set that concealer down and in place, and then I'm just lightly gonna dust a little bit like down my T-zone, chin, and forehead, like pretty much the areas that I tend to get a little bit oily throughout the day, just because I do want to stay mattified in those areas. But for the most part, I feel like this is gonna be like a really natural skin day. Let me know what you guys think of the look so far. Like, would you pull concealer as foundation? That's a real question. Can you pull it off? Will you pull it off? Or is it just not your thing? I used to think I couldn't pull it off until I learned how to do it. So it could just be that you need a little bit more practice, or you just have to find a good balance between concealer and moisturizer and powder. So let's actually move back up to the eyes. I'm gonna go back into the Lemonade Craze eyeshadow palette, and I am gonna take a flat definer brush and I'm just lightly going to run this brown on my lash line to kind of connect. And I really want this to be nice, soft, and diffused, so I'm going to press it with our new flat definer brush by Collab. Check it out if you guys haven't already. These just launched and they are incredible. I love our flat definer brush because it's so soft and it does not irritate my lower lash line. I have very sensitive eyes, guys, so just know that brush is Ashley approved. Then I'm gonna take our brand new pointed crease brush that kind of mimics an M507 but just not as pointy at the top. I'm gonna use this to really buff and smoke out that lash line just to make it a little softer. There was an eyeliner that won an award as well by Neutrogena. This is the Smoky Kohl eyeliner in dark brown. They also had this in black and maybe even another color, but I did pick up the brown one because I knew exactly what palette I was gonna be using and I really wanted to get an eyeliner that was gonna complement the look. So I'm gonna use this in my waterline and really just kind of like smudge it out just to create more of a smoky effect. Ooh, this is creamy. This is really creamy. Does this, ooh, it so sharpens. Oh my gosh. Game changer, I love that. And then with our little smudger, I'm just gonna kind of smudge it on my lash line. So 1 to 10, I think that looks like 10 out of 10 really good on my waterline. So I'm actually gonna take a little bit of this and just kind of line my upper lid. Then with my smudger brush, I'm gonna smudge it out. So I definitely feel like we're in a pretty good place. I do need to pop on falsies to kind of finish off the eyes. So I'm gonna apply these by Kiss. These are the Lash Couture Faux Lash Extensions, AKA individual lashes. Now, I do personally feel like these are a lot more difficult to apply than just like a strip lash. But when you put these on, they give you the most beautiful natural lash effect. So I could definitely see why they won an award. I'm gonna put these on off camera because it is gonna take me a little minute. And the glue I'm gonna use is this one right here by Duo. This also won an award. So on one end you have a clear lash glue, and then on the other end you have a dark lash glue, which is cool. I've never seen this before, so I'm eager to try it out. I love that you get 2-in-1 because I feel like I use dark adhesive for a completely different reason than I use clear. So that's really cool. I'm gonna pop these on and then I will be right back. That's how I feel right now about putting on false lashes because that was excessive. Anyways, moving on, let's actually touch on bronzer. Now, I didn't see an award-winning bronzer for this year, so I'm just gonna use the Bronze Please bronzer by L'Oreal. I do really like this, and I'm gonna use this to add a little bit of warmth to my skin because I'm looking very, very flat right now. And you really don't need much of this because this is very, very pigmented. Also, I feel so strange because my brows are like a little bit natural and then I have on individual lashes and I'm just like not feeling like myself. Let me know how you guys feel about this look so far. It's completely out of my element, but I mean, if you guys like it, that's all that matters. I need to bring a little bit of that warmth back to my nose because we lost a lot of dimension there. And also gonna take a little bit underneath my lip. Moving on to highlighter, I'm gonna use this by Essence. This is the Pure Nude Highlighter in the shade Be My Highlight. I am just gonna pop this on my cheek, or cheekbone. Ooh, that is pretty. This is actually really pretty. Why is it taking me so long to discover this? I have no idea because my highlight is poppin'. Wow. One thing that I really love about doing this video is that I come across your guys' favorites really. Like, I would have never tried this otherwise. This is beautiful. Okay, Essence, we see you. Also gonna take some on the tip of my nose and down the bridge. And why not? I'm gonna pop some on my Cupid's bow too. Now that I'm looking at my eyes, I definitely want to add like a bing pop in the inner corner. So I'm going to take Main Squeeze on a pencil brush. I'm going to spritz it with just a little bit of Fix Plus just to give it a little bit more slip and allow it to stick. And I'm just going to pop it in my inner corner because I feel like this is missing something. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then whatever's left, I'm just going to run it on my brow bone. Just a little bit, nothing crazy. Just a little shimmer shimmer. For blush today, I came across the Primer Infused blush in the shade Always Rosy. Now, I used to have a blush in my collection from e.l.f. that was primer infused. Maybe it was this one. Not entirely sure, but I think I got rid of it when I did like my big declutter video. So that's a little sucky. That's a little bit unfortunate. Can I get this open? Wow, they make the packaging so difficult. But this is what it looks like. I'm gonna take a little bit and smile and pop it on. Mainly gonna focus it on the apples of my cheeks. all that's left to do is my lip color. Now the lip color that I am going to put on today is by Maybelline. I have some of their Super Stay matte ink crayons. These are some of my personal favorites. I did mention this one in a previous favorites video, and I told you guys I really love the formula. I love how comfortable it feels on the lips. I also love that on the end they have like a little sharpener, so in the event that it does get dull, you can resharpen it. I think the shade that's gonna look really, really beautiful with this look is this one right here. This is in the shade Enjoy the View 20. So I'm gonna pop this on all over. Actually, that looks pink. Rewind. I'm actually gonna put on this shade called Live on Edge. It's a little bit deeper. Doesn't quite go with my warm eye. What do I do? You know what? Sometimes you just gotta roll with it. And for the most part, this is the makeup look. I am gonna finish things off with a little bit of the Olay Mist because they say you could apply this before makeup and after makeup. So let's go ahead and cool down. Oh my God, this feels so nice. Also, you guys, I got this little contraption on Amazon earlier, and it is the coolest thing ever. Check this out. Boo. What? Super cute, right? Super cute to kind of like put in your purse when you need like a little pick-me-up, you need a little refresher after a long day. Amazon, I will link it down below. This right here, you guys, is the final and completed look. I went ahead and zoomed you out just so that way it wasn't like in your face the whole time talking, but I will say I really love this look. I feel like it's right in the middle between natural and dramatic. Normally I film more dramatic looks on my channel, so it's nice to kind of change up the pace. I do want to quickly point out these Kiss lashes here, these individual lashes. While they are really, really pretty, I feel like they just take way too long to put on, or maybe it's just me, maybe I'm slow. If you guys have the time, I definitely say that these are worth it, but if you guys are low on time and you want something really, really pretty, I say just opt for a strip lash, but that's just my personal opinion. I also wanted to point out the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. It is so incredibly beautiful, and I cannot believe it's taken me this long to discover this highlighter. Look how pretty. I love that. What I love most about these videos is that I really get to revisit some old favorites, but I also get to discover new favorites. So let me know if you guys want me to do the same exact video but with high-end beauty products down below. I don't have much else to say except I love you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll be sure to catch you guys all on the next one. Deuces.